world.
I'm doing it.
Morning crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And guess what? Tool Girl Sam is back on site.
I'm back. I'm sick, but I'm here.
Yeah, she made it. She's not. In fact, both of us have got a bit of cold. To be honest, we've got the old cough syrup on an intravenous drip. I reckon that's what we need. But we're going to battle our way through today. We've got a few videos lined up, and this one is going to be doing the valve clearance on a Honda NX650, which is known as the Honda Dominator, and it's on the stand. And I know many of you over the last few weeks have kept commenting, what's that bike doing, Andy? Are you going to be doing some work on it? Well, we have done a bit of work on it. Basically, it's had the cylinder head removed, and it's had a couple of valves put in it because they were all pitted and worn out. Ben's done all that. It's been a project for Ben. Ben's my eldest lad, well, the only lad that I'm aware of anyway. He's the eldest one. And I wanted to make him do the work, because it's far too easy for him to say, hey Dad, just fix this. Hey Dad, just fix that. I don't have time to do all that these days. He's 23 years old. He needs to learn to do stuff himself. He's quite capable of following instructions in a workshop manual, that's for sure. Anyway, I thought doing the valve clearance would make a great video, because on these engines, they're a single cylinder 4-stroke engine, and I think it's one of the valves, the decompression system, makes it really quite difficult to get an accurate valve clearance set up. So we're going to cover that in this video, and I have managed, after much time on the internet, to download the service manual. I've printed off a little bit to do with the valve clearance. So we've got all the specs for this particular bike. So if you've got one of these, and it's very similar to the XR650 and the XL650 as well, of a similar vintage, 1988, 89, these specifications I think will also apply to those bikes. If I'm wrong, stick it in the comments, let people know that I'm wrong and put it right, because I hate to give out misinformation. That's not what these videos are about at all. Well, Sam, have a guess what they are? Any ideas?
A nail file.
It's a nail file.
Multiple nail files?
Almost.
Could do.
Yeah.
They had really
Well,
good nails.
there's a proper name for them. They're basically strips of metal of different thicknesses, and we use them to measure gaps, clearances, basically. And these ones are by our friends down at Tang, and they gave me these years ago when I first started the channel. And I actually very rarely use them because they're a bit big, to be honest, for some motorcycles. But I think they'll be just fine for this. They're more for car use, to be honest. And you can see on there there's lots of different sizes, all the different numbers. Mm-hmm. You people better see that as well. Look, you see all the different numbers on there, and those are all in metric. So it's a metric feeler gauge set, and that's the real name, feeler gauges, for feeling things. There we go. Look, 20 blade. 0.05 to 1 millimeter. Stock number FG21 if you want some of these. Drop onto the ISL Industries Limited websites. You'll see it at the end of the video, and you can buy your own. They're very good, and they don't seem to break. Pretty cool. Okay, well, without further ado, we'll get set up on the bike. Sam, you're going to need those, cool. And we'll need some other tools as well, so we'll get that sorted out. And I think we'll do the intake valves first. But before we can actually do the clearance, we need to make sure that the crankshaft is basically in the top dead center position. So the piston is at the top of the firing stroke. Okay, so that's part of the task, and we'll head over there now and get that crankshaft lined up. Okay, I have no idea what tools we need. We'll go have a look. Okay, so hiding behind this cover here is the flywheel, and we've got to basically be able to see the flywheel, the markings on the flywheel, to know that the piston's at TDC. So there's that cover to take off there, Sam. So there's a flat screwdriver. Hopefully it's not going to be too tight.
What?
If you can do that lefty-loosey.
What?
Yeah, go on, you can do it. So,
wait, that's right.
So that way.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Easy. So that can come all the way out. Pop that on the bench. And there should be an O-ring behind there. So it might come out with the cap, with the cover. Or it might stay on the engine. There we go. O-ring on there. And then we've got this one here. And behind there is the mark on the casing. So we need to get into that as well. So there's a ratchet for you. So See if you can get that undone. I've no idea how tight that one is. So you might have to
In
give
the
it.
same way?
Yep. You might have to give it a palm. Got the shakes.
Can you see my arms straight?
Yeah, I can see them shaking really well. Right, so I'll tell you what to do. I'll show you a trick. So hold the ratchet about midway with that hand. Okay, and then with the palm of that one, give it a thump. There you go, you got it. There you go. Brilliant.
Oh, nice.
That's it. So just keep ratcheting it back. That's it.
Ah, okay. The art of the
You remember how these
ratchet.
work, don't you?
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long. All right, so again, that's only a few turns. It should come loose. Oh, there you go.
Oh my
You got
goodness.
it. Fantastic. On that one, the O-ring stayed in place, so we're not going to move it around. We'll leave it sat there. Don't want to disturb it. Okay, right. We'll rejig the camera and get some lighting set up so we can see the markings in there, because it's critical that we get it lined up correctly. So we'll need a torch, Sam. All right, Sam. If you get your socket, 17mm socket, pop it on the flywheel nut just inside there. Look, and I want you to turn it anti-clockwise so the flywheel turns this way. What we're looking for in there, if I get the old torch fired up, see if you can spot the yellow marker coming round, and you just got to keep your eye peeled. Can you see down the hole? Just don't go too fast.
Can't go any
You
further
can always take
on
it off. You can take it off. You can take it off here and then go back down again if you want. It's easy.
Oh.
That's it. So pull it off.
Yeah.
There you go. And then put it back up here. Like this, look. Like that. And you can go again. Yeah. That's it. Okay, and just nice and slow. We're trying to catch that yellow mark going past. Where are you? Where are you, yellow mark? You're in there somewhere. Oh, hang on. Go back a bit. No, I thought. Sorry. Keep going then. Nope, keep going. Just go back a fraction. I did see something. No, not those two. Can't be. Ah, there we go. Right, perfect. Right, Sam. So we don't know whether we're on the exhaust stroke, top of the finish of the exhaust stroke, or the start of the firing stroke. So we're going to need to check the valves and just make sure there's no movement on those rockers. Okay, so you've got the rockers here. Look, can you just check for me to see if there's no play on any of those rockers? And if there's no play, then we're on the start or on the finish of the exhaust stroke. There you go.
Ow! No. It's resisting.
Cool. Okay, so no play. Right, so we need to go around another 360 of the crankshaft, and that'll turn the camshaft 180 degrees, and then we should be basically at the top of the compression stroke, and that's where we need to be. Okay. Right. So if you grab your socket again, pop it back on there. We're going to turn that flywheel, turn the crank another 360. So we're going to see the little yellow marker disappear, and then we want it to come all the way around again back to here. That's it, keep going.
Oh, Jesus.
It's alright, on your fingers. Right, so if you take it off and go again. Nice and slowly this time, we don't want to overshoot if we can help it. And we've got to get it exact. Ooh, the suspense is killing me. Can't be far. Right, there's one mark there. I think our yellow mark is just after that, isn't it? Keep going. There you go. Right, see if we can get it lined up. So you're about another degree, just a fraction. Oh, back a bit. That's cool.
Is it perfect? Or?
Yeah. You've got to get lined up with it. Let's have a little look. Yes, that is absolutely bang on. Okay, so back round to the side again, and we should have a little bit of movement now on those valves. All right, Sam, can you just see if there's any movement on those this time round? See if you can get them to rattle. Any movement on there? Oh yeah, cool. Okay, how about this one this side? Can you reach through there? Yeah, perfect. And the exhaust valves?
That one.
Cool. Perfect. Right, so we're definitely now at top dead center. The pistons come up the cylinder and it's compressed the mixture, and we're just about to get a spark. Well, actually, we've just had a spark, and the fuel's about to burn, and the piston's going to head back down the cylinder and make power and make the wheel turn around on the bike, which would be great. So now we're in the right position for setting these clearances. We've got, well, probably feels a bit too much movement on there at the moment, so we need to get the right size feeler gauge and adjust that. So let's go and look at the specs. Okay, Sam, we're going to need the feeler gauges now, so if you want to grab those for us. And we'll do the intakes first, and as per the specs, intakes are 1 mil. Now, usually in a service manual, you get a range for a valve clearance, you know 0.08 to 0.12, somewhere in that range is good. But in this Honda manual, all they've given us is an exact figure. So we've got to set them to 0.1 of a mil for the intake. Right, Sam, have you managed to find the 0.1 on your feeler gauges yet?
It's been took the wrong way.
Oh,
This
what you
one.
like. Show the people. What have we got? And can we see, is the number on there?
Yeah.
There we go, look, right, perfect. So we've got the 0.1 millimeter feeler gauge. So we'll head over to the bike and we'll see just how slack or tight that is and make the necessary adjustments. And we'll need a spanner as well. No idea, I think it's a 12 mil. Here we go. All right, Sam, so here we've got the lock nut. We've got the adjuster screw there, look. And this is the rocker arm just down here. And the feeler gauge will go underneath that rocker arm. Where's my little pointy stick? That'll do. The feeler gauge will go in just there, okay? Right, the first thing to do is crack off that lock nut. So if you want to put your ring spanner on there for me. That's it. And it wants to go away from you. Mind your knuckles on the frame. Give it maybe a tap with your palm. Ooh, that was cool.
It's lucky you
That's all right. Yeah, I saw that coming. Right, so we've cracked off the lock nut now. And I suppose we should really just check to see what the clearance is like at the moment. So just try that in the gap. I'm going to go around the other side because I'm in your way. Does that feel pretty loose?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a bit of a drag, but not. It shouldn't be a real tug to get it out of there. Right, Sam. If I hold that up, if you want to pop your feeler gauge in that gap down there, look. That's it. Okay, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm just going to close this up until it's just touching. That's better. So that should be tight now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to back that off until it just starts to slide. So you should be able to push it in and pull it out very gently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just, yep.
So a little feel of that. That's cool. Yeah. That's... See, when it buckles like that, it's too tight.
Mm-hmm.
Just slacken it off a little bit. There we go, I'll go with that. So we'll just wind the little lock nut down. We'll pop your spanner back on. So you pop your spanner on there, and you're going to
On
pull
this side or?
as near to the frame as you can. That's it, and then you're going to pull that towards you while I hold the adjuster in place. Okay, that's cool. Let's just test that. Oh, that's pretty good. That actually is bang on. Bloody hell. First shot. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to hold the adjuster again. So if you bring your spanner, we're going to lock it off real tight now. So you bring it back round and give it one more little tug on the spanner. Cool, that should work. We'll just double check it. Yep, that's that one done. Okay. Fantastic. So you can pull your feeler gauge out now, and we should be able to feel. Oh yeah, we should be able to feel a bit of movement on that. So if you just put your hand on there, you should be able to just feel it moving up and down a little tiny bit.
A little bit.
So that one's set. So we need to come around the other side and do the other intake valve.
Okay.
Bloody good, bloody good job. Well done. Okay, Sam, we're all swapped over. So if you want to, I can't see so well this time, so you're going to have to help me a little bit. Let's just check the clearance first. So if I lift it up, can you get the feeler gauge in the gap? Down there, look. Same size. That's the one.
Yep.
All right. So it's pretty slack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too much play. Okay. So if we crack off the lock nut then with your spanner, and you're pulling it towards you this time.
On the wrong side.
No, you're all
Oh,
good.
no.
There you go. So pull it towards you. Eve. Brilliant. Okay. Right, we'll just wind that a couple of turns up because we know we're going to be screwing it down. And then if you want to pop your feeler gauge back in for me. All right, you got it? Cool. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just start to turn it until it just starts to bite.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you move it now? Just trying to... Yeah, it's too tight, so back it off a little bit. Perfect. Okay. So we can leave the feeler gauge in. I'll wind that down. Pop your spanner back on. Hold these hands.
Crossing my arms.
You got arms all over the place.
Okay.
Right, spanner back on, and you're going to be tightening it up this time.
Oh, so am I going the other way?
Yes, you're going to be going towards me this time to tighten it up. Cool. You can go again if you need to. How's that feel? Right. Okay, let's just go for the clearance check again. It feels a little bit slack to me. I think we should crack off the nut again. See if you can undo the nut this time. Sorry, camera. It's pretty close proximity
Try not to
work.
punch
There
it.
you go. Can you undo that? Give you a push. There you go. Right, so that'll do. And I'm just going to turn it a fraction. And we'll just check that. Right, let's just lock that up there. So you can tighten it up. So towards me again. Such a mechanic.
I don't think it's tightening.
Maybe I should spin it with my finger first. Hang on, just pull it up. Oh yeah, okay, one more. It should be tight.
Yeah.
That'll do. Right. Let's just test that. Hang on. Pop your feeler gauge back in again. There we go. Needs to go across a bit, doesn't it? Now, how's that feel? Hang on, Sam. Just gonna borrow that. It's a bit awkward, this one.
Yeah, it's on a bad angle.
It is. It's on a terrible angle, isn't it? That's all part of valve. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I'll go with that. So all we need to do now is just tweak that nut just a bit tighter.
Oh.
Super. Right, so I've got to hold it while you do that,
So
otherwise it will
this
move.
end as well?
You're going to be going towards me. No, we don't need that in anymore.
Can I even
Yeah.
make it tighter?
Two hands.
Yeah.
Heave. Perfect. Great job. Okay, so you should be able to feel a little bit of movement on that one as well now. Brilliant. Right. So now we need to go and sort out a different size feeler gauge for the exhaust valves because it's a different spec.
Okay.
Back to the bench, Sam. Right, Sam. We've done the intake valves. Good job. High five. Excellent. Oh yeah, me too. Gonna get grubby later on. So we're going to the exhaust valves now, and it tells us here there's a special note for the right-hand side exhaust valve, and I'll read it out to you. In fact, Sam can read it out. Can you read that out? Down there, look. Note: special care must be.
Special care must be taken when measuring valve clearance at the right-hand exhaust valve. The half decompressor slightly lifts the right-hand exhaust valve when the crankshaft position is before compression, TDC. Because I know what that means.
She does. TDC,
Therefore-
top dead centre. You know that. Sorry, go on, go on.
Therefore, it is necessary to position the crankshaft where there is no valve lift in order to obtain the correct valve clearance.
Bloody good. So you understood all of that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Basically, you've got to make, all it means is you've got to make damn sure that the mark on the flywheel is exactly in alignment with the mark on the casing. If it's slightly before, then it means the decompression system is actually actuating, potentially, and it's going to affect that gap. That's all it means. Okay, so the spec for the exhaust valves is 0.12. Now, I have a confession. The Tang feeler gauges, they're more of a car type feeler gauge, and the increments are too wide, and we can't do 0.12 mil on those. So I've dug out my motorcycle feeler gauges, and there's not many of them left. There's a few broken ones, and the nearest I can get, sorry, is I can use the 0.1, which is that one, and I can use the 0.03, which is that one, because the 0.02, well, it's gone. It died. It's so thin that it just tore one day, and I think it got thrown away or lost. So that's as good as we're going to get, but let's face it, it'll be all right on this old Dominator, I'm sure. So, Sam, we'll join those two together, so we'll just overlap them like that, and that should give us 0.13. We need that fiddly little feeler gauge. Right, back to the bike. We'll do the left-hand one first, because that's the one we don't have to worry about the decompression system, and then we'll do the right-hand one last, and then we're all done. Easy. Here we go. So again, just pop your feeler gauge underneath first, and let's see how much of a gap there is. I can see that there is a bit of a gap.
Use my other hand, otherwise I'm going to get RSI.
Pretty easy, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, right, so crack off the, you can pull them out for now. Crack off the lock nut. So this time you're putting the spanner on and pulling it towards yourself. That was loose.
Yeah.
Cheers, Ben. All right, okay, so I'll just see if I can work my way through that in there. And if I hold it up, can you get your feeler gauge back in again? Yep, okay. Or awkward with a screwdriver, I can hardly see what I'm doing, but anyway. Right, I'm just going to start to tighten that up. Feels a bit more resistance there, so it's tight.
Yeah.
So back it off a little bit, and then you can just test for that in and out, very slight movement.
Yeah,
Still
it's
too
a
tight?
bit tight, yeah.
Right, move the screwdriver. Can you move it? Oh, cool. That looks about right actually, because you can see the feeler gauge buckling, can't you, when you're doing
Yeah.
it?
Oh, there's those two on it as well. I think that's why it buckles more.
Yeah, because the one of them's really thin. All right, can you pop it back in again, and then we'll be able to lock it off. If it's too tight, we'll have to just back it off and start again.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's back it off and we'll start again. Right. Yeah, it's backed off. It should go in nice and easy. All right. Cool. All right. So I'll just tweak that up slowly. Who would have thought it'd be such a mission to turn a screwdriver? Right. How does that feel? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Could be tighter.
Yeah, it felt a bit slack, didn't it, by the looks of it?
Yep.
You're back in place, are you? All right, try that.
Oops.
Back it off. All right. How does that feel? A bit tight? That's too tight,
too
isn't it?
tight.
Good. Okay, so back it off a fraction.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to hold it in that position and we're going to lock it off. So you can let go of the feeler gauge. That should stay. That's all right, it hasn't moved, it's fine. It's all right, we can test it after.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. You can leave it out. It's all right.
So no.
If you want to put your spanner on there, very carefully not to move the...
We're tightening.
Hang on. Get your spanner on the nut. There you go. Right, that hasn't moved. It's good. So you're going to be coming towards me with the spanner this time. That's cool. That'll do for now. Don't go mad. And we're just going to test the clearance again. So we'll take everything off. It shouldn't move. And if I can get my hand in there. Oh yeah. Bang on. Look at that. Man, you can come back and do these again. In fact, I'll just go to the pub and let you do them on your own. Right, okay, spanner back on for a final tweak. And I'm going to hold that in place. Get around that cable. Right, so now you can give it one more push. Cool, that's good. People do often over tighten these. It's probably quite good having you doing it, because if I was doing it, I'd only over tighten it. Right, final check. Bloody good. Right, can you get in there, Sam, and just check to see what the clearance is like? Can you get your feeler gauge down there? You can see where it needs to go in, can't you, as well? You've got it sussed there. So it's pretty loose?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, if you want to crack off that lock nut, and this time the spanner's got to...
go?
Can you get in? Spanner's got to come towards me. Is the camera too close?
No, it should be fine. Oh.
Cool. Okay, so it's pretty loose. Excellent.
Yeah.
Because Ben's had all these out anyway. Right, so I'll just put that in there. I'll whiz that lock up a little bit. If you want to get your feeler gauge in the bottom, you've got to make sure that they're both in together.
Yeah.
All right. And
Now
I'll do
it's
the
tight.
same thing. I'm just going to twizzle that closed, so I can just, it's just starting to bind. So it should be tight now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just back it off a little bit. So you should be able to push it in and out with a little bit of resistance.
My bad.
That's all right. I'll back it off again. All right. So I'll be careful not to push down on the rocker while I'm doing this, because if I put any weight on it, it gives it a false reading. All right. Was that pretty tight?
Yep.
Try again. You in?
Mm-hmm.
Right. How does that feel? Just try and move it.
I'm
like
really trying to not pull it out. They're just really small.
they are. It's very fiddly. Mechanics can be quite delicate sometimes. Right. So just try and move it
Yeah.
a couple of mil. So it is moving at the moment, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. It's a very narrow feeler gauge. It takes a while to get used to. You in?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So if I let go, so there's no pressure on it, can you move it forwards and backwards slightly, or is it too tight?
Yep.
Cool. Feels pretty, it's sort of snug, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll hold that in that position, and we'll just close that up. And now you can leave those where they are. You can let go of that, it should stay put. And you can just put your spanner on there, and this time pull it towards you. And we'll lock it off, and then I'll just double check it. Otherwise Ben will be mad if we get it wrong, it'll rattle its nuts off. Okay, so you can pull that towards you now, that spanner.
Mm-hmm.
That good? Okay, you can take the spanner off. Right, let's have a quick check. Oh yeah, that's bang on. You can just see a little bit of resistance when you're pushing it in and out. That works for me. Okay, let's do a final tweak. So spanner back on again then. And you're going to pull it towards yourself again. So I'm just going to hold that in place so it doesn't move. There you go. You can't hold onto the tripod. Steady yourself.
I'm holding onto it so I don't bash it.
Oh,
Or
is
if
that
I
what you're
do,
doing? Oh,
if I
okay.
do, then at least I'm holding onto it when it flies away.
All right, I got you.
But yeah, I
I've got the
think that's
tripod.
as tight as I
That's
can
as good
do.
as it gets. All right, that'll do. Perfect. Good job. Right, so pull that out. Pop. And you should be able to feel a little bit of movement now on that. Just a tiny amount. Yep. Super job. Ta-da! It's done. We made it through with our sore throats. Really sore now, actually, so it's time for a Strepsil, I reckon. No, I'm not sponsored. I should be.
What a dream.
I've been living on Strepsils for the last 2 weeks, honestly, and I'm either talking on the phone, talking at work to the dealers, or I'm busy doing videos where I'm talking, so the voice is just dying completely. Well, there you go. Quick, well, maybe not quite so quick. I've not edited the video yet, but that's how to do the valve clearance essentially on pretty much anything with adjustable tappets, as long as you've got the right specs. You need the specs, and the engine also has to be cold. You can't have run the bike up or go to your nearest bike shop and get them to do a valve clearance while your engine's still hot. They've got to leave it overnight. It's got to be cold, otherwise it's going to be completely wrong. I remember one of the mechanics that I worked for, he did a GN250 valve clearance, and the guy had brought it in that morning, did the valve clearance in the afternoon, engine was still too warm. That bike came back the next day and had to be redone again. Yeah, it's not good. So make sure it's cold, make sure you've got all the right tools, and make sure you've got the specifications to do it. And always tighten things up to manufacturer's torque settings. Well, Sam, did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
That was a constructive video. It's really cool because up until now, well, no, we've done a few constructive videos. We did that diff, that was really constructive. Yeah. That was well intense. I'm trying to stay away from that kind of stuff. But, you know, we've pulled gearboxes apart, we've pulled steering racks apart, and
Stuff.
yeah, and hammer things, and we just end up with a big pile of bits at the end of it. It's pretty cool, but it's also nice to do stuff that's you know, going the other way, and we're actually making things better rather than making them worse. If that's what we do, I don't know. It's all good. Okay, crew, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not? Click on the subscribe button, and then you'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications. Right, Sam, your turn. You'll also find me on
Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus, and Twitter.
You will, that's right, yeah. We're on there too.
Memorised.
Yeah, bang on. Right, it's about time. I mean well, it's nearly about a year you've been doing this now, isn't it? So yeah, but a year is probably long enough to learn 4 words, I reckon. But there is a new one. What's the new one, Sam?
Patreon.
It is. You looked a big look of like, am I going to get it right? Yeah. Patreon. There's a Patreon account. So if you fancy dropping onto the Patreon account, Patreon page, you will see some background information about the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel, a bit more stuff. If you want to throw a few coins our way, by all means do that. You've got that option. And I'm also putting that money is going towards a project motorcycle. We're going to buy an old bike, do a restoration, and it'll all be done to video. And then once it's built up, you might not know this bit, once it's built up, I then have to ride that bike to your chosen destination somewhere in New Zealand.
Oh my god.
I know. Somebody's going to put a pin, like a pin on a donkey, they're going to put a pin on the map, and it's going to be like halfway up bloody Mount Cook or something stupid like that. But there has to be a track or a road to get me there. But yes, that's a long way in the future. Should be good fun. And that's about it. Well, okay, crew, if you have a Honda Dominator, you know what to do with your valve clearances now. All good, Sam?
Yep.
See you next time. Cheers. Over and out. Ft.Tool Girl Sam. How are you?
Back.
You're back. Fantastic.
So long.
I know, and I've got a new shirt, so I thought it's only right that I give you a new shirt too. So there you go.
Yes. So excited for my new shirt, and I don't have to wear different shirts every day. And as a classic Tool Girl Sam move, I am going to wear it like this. Wow, would you look at that? I'd say that is a great present for your girlfriend if she's into tools. If she's not, she's probably into tools because you're a tool. See what I did there? Tool Girl shirt, perfect.